Hello, welcome back to the Twits with Mrs. Howard. We're going to start by review like we always do. And last time when we were doing this, the monkeys had escaped their cage with the help of the roly-poly bird. He got them a key from inside of the shed and they were able to unlock themselves. And the baby monkeys are like, let's get out of here. And Mugglewump's like, no, I have a plan. And so now this chapter is about getting to see Mugglewump's plan come to fruition, getting to see him try to act out his plan, the beginnings of it. This is actually several chapters long, trying to get through Mugglewump's great plan to get back at the Twits for making him stand on his head for months at a time, or for a very long time. It's only hours at a time, but he's been doing it for months. Anyways, so we first start off by talking about the title. The title of a chapter can often give you the main idea of what's going to happen in the chapter. And then we will look at the pictures. The pictures help you visualize in your head as you are being read to or as you're reading it about what is happening during this chapter. Both of these things can help you have better comprehension when reading. So let's start by looking at the title. Now this is one of those where they give us the title and they give us a picture. The title of this chapter is The Great Glue Painting Begins. And we see in the picture a roly-poly bird and the four monkeys. The roly-poly bird is holding the bucket, and the monkey who's talking, he looks a little crazed, is also holding a bucket. Now I'm going to assume that monkey holding the bucket is Mugglewump, and the other three monkeys are his family. Let's look at the other pictures. There we go. We see a monkey jumping around the room holding the bucket and the paintbrush, and the other monkeys and the roly-poly bird are watching. And then we see a bunch of birds looking like they're up on the ceiling. They're all holding paintbrushes. Those are the last pictures in that chapter. There's also some vocabulary words I thought we would go over before this began. Mugglewump is going to describe their living room, the Twits' house living room, as grand and glorious, which means very nice or wonderful. And then we come across another Roald Dahl word, which is frumptious. Now, frumptious is obviously a Roald Dahl insult, but I feel like that it's got the word frumpy in it. And frumpy means it's somebody who's not well kept or somebody who's being very relaxed, frumpy. So frumptious, maybe, but it's definitely a made-up word. That's not a real word. We all know Roald Dahl loves that. Okay, and then shudder, shake. And then now we're also going to hear about buzzards, wild ducks, magpies, woodpeckers, rooks, ravens, and all kinds of birds. Those are all different kinds of birds. Buzzard, wild duck, magpie, woodpecker, rooks, ravens. Those are all different kinds of birds. Okay. And then at the end, there's going to be words that said it was all finished, and we're going to talk about what that means. So let's read the chapter together. Let's not drop my phone. I got to go back to the beginning of the chapter from showing you the pictures. Okay. The Great Glue Painting Begins. This is the living room, announced Mugglewump. The grand and glorious living room where those two fearful, frumptious freaks eat bird pie every week for supper. Please don't mention bird pie again, said the roly-poly bird. It gives me the shudders. We mustn't waste time, cried Mugglewump. Hurry up, hurry up. Now, the first thing is this. I want everyone to paint sticky glue all over the ceiling. Cover it all. Smear it in every corner. Over the ceiling? They cried. Why the ceiling? Never mind why, shouted Mugglewump. Just do as you're told and don't argue. But how do we get it up there? They asked. We can't reach. Monkeys can reach anywhere, shouted Mugglewump. He was in a frenzy of excitement now, waving his paintbrush and his bucket, and leaping about all over the room. Come on, jump on the tables, stand on the chairs, hop on each other's shoulders. Roly-poly can do it flying. Don't stand there gaping. We have to hurry, don't you understand? Those terrible Twits will be back any moment, and this time they'll have guns. Get on with
it, for heaven's sake! Get on with it!
And that's why he's in a... Nope. And that's why he's in a frenzy, jumping all over the room, trying to get this thing painted. Let's see what that next picture is about. And so the great glue painting of the ceiling began. All the other birds who had been sitting on the roof flew in to help, carrying paintbrushes in their claws and beaks. There were buzzards, wild ducks, woodpeckers, magpies, rooks, ravens, and many more. Everyone was splashing away like mad, and with so many helpers, the job was soon finished. I said we would talk about that. That's the end of the chapter where it says the job was soon finished. The job being painting the ceiling with glue. So they finished that with the help of the roly-poly bird and all the other birds who do not appreciate how their fellow birds are being put into bird pie. And that ends this chapter.